The World Series is set and no one seems to be happy about it. You have the Yankees representing the AL and the Dodgers representing the NL. The two powerhouses in the MLB right now are finally facing off in a World Series for the first time since 1981, where the Dodgers won it all in 6 games. But why is everyone mad about this being the matchup? What is there not to want about this? Ratings are sure to be through the roof, and there is one thing, however, making people upset. That would be the root of everything, being money. Everyone knows both the Dodgers and Yankees have been able to have amazing seasons throughout 2024. Both teams finishing as the top seed in their respective leagues, both teams having a solid playoff run, and the Dodgers even became the first National League team since the new format came out that had a bye to win the division series. They both are also full of superstars. The Yankees have players like Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Garrett Cole, and Giancarlo Stanton, while the Dodgers have Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Teoscar Hernandez, just to name a few. However, fans are still not wanting this, it seems. Money is the root of all these complaints I have been seeing. The Dodgers are labeled as a billion-dollar team. The Yankees as well will spend the big bucks to bring in talent. Both teams had stellar off seasons that saw major additions being brought in. For starters, the Yankees made a major splash on the trade market, this being acquiring Juan Soto from the San Diego Padres for a package that included players like Michael King and Kyle Higashioka. However, the Dodgers stole the show when it came to free agency. They brought in Japanese ace Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Teoscar Hernandez came to LA on a nice deal. Tyler Glasnow was brought in from Tampa Bay via trade, but the big one was the addition of the man who is playing for the crosstown rival LA Angels, Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani would ink a 10-year, $700 million contract. However, $680 million of it was announced to be deferred over the span of a decade. So basically, he would be making around $2 million a year. This, of course, allowed the Dodgers to bring in all the talent that they did, thus the name of the billion-dollar team. Fans of small market teams did not like this move. Many labeled it as not fair for the league and that the Dodgers were taking advantage of things like with his contract. However, the Dodgers were able to ink the deal with no issues and it became the largest deal in MLB history. You see, I can see where the anger is coming from as a fan of a small market team. However, what is stopping owners of these teams from spending the money? We all know they have it. If you want more revenue, go bring in some stars. This is going to bring in more fans. More fans equals more money. Heck, we saw the Kansas City Royals just spend this offseason signing guys like Michael Wacha and Seth Lugo, and they even inked their franchise guy Bobby Witt Jr. to their largest deal in team history. I'm not a Dodgers fan or a Yankees fan in any way, but I have to applaud them for actually going out of their way to spend money and try to win games. I want to look at the payrolls of all the teams that made the playoffs really quick and rank them from lowest to highest. These are the numbers according to SpotTrack and being the total payroll allocations. The Detroit Tigers had a payroll of $98,511,614. They went on to lose the ALDS. The Cleveland Guardians had a payroll of $106,774,581, and they lost to the Yankees in the ALCS. The Baltimore Orioles lost in the AL wildcard round and had a payroll of $109,845,494. The Milwaukee Brewers lost to the Mets in the NL wildcard round and had an allocated payroll of $115,473,379. The Kansas City Royals lost to the Yankees in the ALDS and had a payroll of $122,546,954. And now we're going to see a significant jump from the Royals up to the next team, the San Diego Padres, who lost in the NLDS to the LA Dodgers and had a payroll of $171,769,598. Let's take another significant jump to the 200 million. So we're going from 171 all the way to 236, where the Atlanta Braves, who lost to the Padres in the NL wildcard, had a total payroll of $236,433,901. You want to know who's only 5th in allocated payroll? The LA Dodgers. The LA Dodgers, who had an allocated payroll of $241,010,117. The Philadelphia Phillies had an allocated payroll and lost in the NLDS of $247,149,605. The Houston Astros had an allocated payroll and lost the AL wildcard to the team with the least amount of payroll, the Detroit Tigers, and they had a grand sum of $255,271,371. The top two are both the New York teams. The Yankees had an allocated payroll of $309,434,607, and they won the AL pennant. And then number 1 was the New York Mets, who lost to the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series. Their total allocated payroll was $317,778,899. Yes, the Ohtani contract being only $2 million a year is keeping the Dodgers very low. However, if I do my math right and say it was going to be $70 million a year without the deferred money, the Dodgers' total allocated payroll would still be behind the New York Mets. It would be around $6 million behind them at $311,010,117. Listen, I am not defending major market teams at all. I actually hate it from being a fan of my team who spends nothing at all while I have to watch other teams land the stars. It's how baseball is though. Until they get a salary cap or even a salary floor to make teams spend more than they are, this is how it will be. Heck, the Tigers beat the Astros in the wild card round and they had the lowest payroll of any of these teams in the playoffs. Enough about talking about the money the Dodgers and Yankees have spent. Let's talk about why people should be excited for this year's World Series and talk about some of the different storylines we have to look at. The first storyline is simple: Ohtani versus Judge, the two players that are going to win the MVP in their respective leagues, and I wouldn't be shocked if they win even more down the road. These guys are just great centerpieces within their teams. Shohei Ohtani just became the first player in MLB history to have a 50-50 season. The fact that this has never happened is crazy, and it's awesome to say it happened while us fans got a chance to be around for it. Heck, I wasn't around for Babe Ruth, I bet a lot of you weren't. These types of runs he goes on are just impressive. Aaron Judge, on the other hand, is the Yankees' new captain. This guy will hit you about 60 home runs a year and still hit for the high average that he does. He is the Yankees captain for a reason and is probably one of the most likable players in the sport, coming from someone who doesn't like the Yankees that much. The next storyline I want to bring up is just the surrounding cast those two have around them that is full of stars. The Dodgers have former MVPs Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman right behind Ohtani in the order. Having those guys batting 1, 2, 3 every single game is actually crazy to watch. A pitching staff featuring the likes of Jack Flaherty, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Walker Buehler has also been fun this postseason. The bullpen has also been stepping up. Players like Kike Hernandez, Will Smith, and Max Muncy, who went on a tear during the Mets, are also stepping up. This team will be really fun to watch go up against the team in the pinstripes. Speaking of them, let's go to the Yankees. Juan Soto is the big name right behind Aaron Judge. That home run that he hit to send the Yankees to the World Series was just electric. Juan Soto has already had his fair share of clutch moments this postseason and even has a ring already when he won it all with the Nationals. Yankees fans want him back, and it is clear why. Soto is a star and more than likely will be a major face of the game of baseball for years to come. The deal he gets this offseason will probably be brought up multiple times during the World Series, and with how much he will probably get, it's justified. Soto and Aaron Judge are also backed by a bunch of talent in New York. Garrett Cole, who has been an ace practically his entire career, Luis Hill, who is in the running for the AL Rookie of the Year award, Anthony Rizzo, who has also won a World Series with the Cubs, Jazz Chisholm Jr., the big trade deadline addition, and the man I want to bring up as another storyline, Giancarlo Stanton. If there is one player in this series I would love to see win a ring, it's Stanton. I have been a fan of him since his career started with the Miami Marlins. This dude was a beast in his prime. He also won the NL MVP back in 2017. He was then moved to the Yankees and honestly struggled with them at times. I even remembered he was being booed during a game where he struck out a bunch. But this guy has always showed up to play. He just won the ALCS MVP after the Yankees beat the Guardians pretty smoothly, and I couldn't be happier for the guy. I want to see Stanton win a ring really bad before he retires. I think he's one of the most deserving players to get one on a list of great players who don't already have one. The final storyline I want to discuss is the fact that Dodgers have a chance to win a ring that can't be labeled as the term Mickey Mouse. When they won it all against Tampa Bay in 2020, people called the ring Mickey Mouse. They won it all at a neutral site in Texas and played only a 60-game season. However, if they want to show everyone that they can win it all with the talent they have, why not do it against the Yankees in a battle of the heavyweights? I couldn't think of a better way to silence the haters than to beat the Yankees, who have been one of the best teams in baseball history. I'll even add this: the Yankees haven't even won a ring since 2009. What a way to win number 28 for them than to beat the top team in the Dodgers so far this season. Yes, this isn't the World Series people wanted, I bet. But you know what? I'll be seated for it. This is a matchup I even thought of before the season started. It was going to happen eventually. The two best teams in baseball are going to be battling it out, and it's going to be really fun to watch. I could even see this year's World Series becoming one of the most highest rated ones in history. Yes, money can ruin a lot of things for smaller markets, but let's just sit back and watch what will probably go down as an all-time classic. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content.